my Leo friends, welcome to your bi-weekly astrology readings. To my channel Pegasus, it's time to fly. So I am putting out these astrology readings every couple of weeks, as well as my weekly spell check. I don't know if you've been listening to my weekly spell check. It replaced some feature that I was doing, the Everyday Witch, and I just decided to put it out there weekly, and just to get an idea and see if people are enjoying the content. If you are, please like, share and subscribe. That would be amazing. And yeah, so I am kind of like doing slightly different readings with different decks as I go, because I'm quite a creative person and I really do enjoy doing it that way rather than just reading them the same every time. So I'm going to light a little bit of sage because I've done a few readings in here today, and just want to clear that energy a little bit. Yeah, let's get that in there. A little bit of sage. Oh my god, this sage is so beautiful. It smells amazing. Right. And I've got my Pixie Magic candle lighting. It's very pink today. Bought this from one of the typical supermarkets. It's so pretty. Yeah, I thought I would just light that candle before I did your reading, my gorgeous Leos. So how's life treating you? How have you been? Have you been following like all my other astrology groups? They've been a little bit, I don't want to say all low, because it's like, that sounds like really miserable, but just not their normal upbeat selves. It's like the year is like charging on and it feels like things are going really fast, but it also feels like things have not quite started yet. I don't know, there's something in the energy. But we're going to get straight on and do your reading. So I'm going to use my Psychic Tarot cards, and I'm going to use my Unicorn cards as well, because they're always like really fun and kind of like quite the childlike energy. I mentioned that before, and sometimes it's that lightheartedness. And because I spoke about that energy earlier, I think lightheartedness is something we could all really benefit from. So I'm going to hit my singing bowl a couple of times before we start the reading. If you've got earphones in, please take them out so that you don't completely go deaf. Yeah, so I'm going to hit them now. Okay, perfect. I'm going to start dealing in this Psychic Tarot actually, and yeah, I'm going to do maybe a Celtic Rose. I don't use this deck that often, but I do really love it. So yeah, let's have a really nice clear reading, angels and spirits, for our wonderful Leo energy. Can we give them a very clear message for the energy of the next few weeks? Okay. Okay. I always get mixed up because this deck are completely different, so I just need to keep a little eye on. So this is the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay. Two of Cups, crossing it. Potential divine soulmate. Four of Swords. Have you been resting? Six of Cups in reverse. Solitude. Hermit, card of Virgo. 8, Power, the Strength card in reverse. Card of Leo. Prosperity begins. Ace of Earth. Ace of Pentacles, sorry. Then we have, ooh, the Judgment card. And then we have the World card. In reverse, in your hopes and dreams. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Shooting stars, accelerated motion as your outcome. This looks like an interesting read, my Leos. It's very interesting. Feels like there's been a lot going on. There's definitely been a lot going on in your headspace. And then the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant, number 5. Card of wisdom in this deck. Now, before I pulled that card, I felt that this reading was this idea of union. This can be either a soulmate energy or union, or this could be the ultimate union that we all have with the self, with ourselves. And sometimes this can pertain to these inner battles that we have, these inner dialogues with ourselves, and you know, how we are able to move forward from that. Do we get stuck in this negative internal dialogue, or are we able to, you know, really acknowledge the patterns, the behaviors, and make some real headway with it? Feels like that is what you're doing. It feels like you are building up strength, because whatever this is has definitely been something within time, because it feels like you have gone through a sense of internal work, going inside, being alone, assessing who you are. Because normally I would read this soulmate or twin flame union energy crossing this Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords in reverse is actually potentially moving into a better place, headspace than you have been. Moving forward in some way. So if this is an actual union, then you're moving forward, and maybe this is with a new soulmate. Someone's offered a cup of love and you have assessed it, done some work, taken the time, and you're slowly moving forward with it. That's the external perspective I'm going to read from. Now, the internal perspective, which is the perspective that I see more clearly, is this is very green. This is about water, about, you know, this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And this water energy is opposing this air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. You see they're like, in the reading, they're crossing each other. So for me, this feels like headspace, heart space, and the two fighting against each other. Or maybe new processes of thought have helped you come to this bigger, fuller heart space. More self-worth, more self-understanding, coming into balance. See, when I look at this card as I'm talking to you, I'm really talking about it as in your divine feminine, your divine masculine. Proper staring each other out in that card. As if to say, yeah, I will look right into your soul. I will see you masculine and I will see you feminine. And whether this is internal or external, as in a relationship, it all kind of comes down to the same thing. You know, depending on whether you're listening this from a religious background or a spiritual background or whatever your belief system is, there's this inner feeling that, you know, we aren't separate really. We are one consciousness. So, you know, you can feel very separate to your neighbour, your partner, your friend, whatever, but ultimately we all have this collective energy. We all have the same dreams, we all have the same desires deep down. We all want to be happy, and we all know that potentially we have this work to do. You know, we're separate, but we're all here on Earth School, and we're all going through pretty much the same sorts of things in order to get to this, you know, some call it ascension. I mean, I do personally, I have ascension downloads myself. But for some of you that don't like this term ascension, it's then this ultimate growth of moving forward. And this Hermit card has, you know, these are like the bigger concepts of your life. These sort of questions that you might ask yourself in solitude. And they might not just be questions, they might be emotions in terms of, how do I feel about me? How do I feel about me as this singular internal person? And then how does that relate then to the world and what I live in and the people that I mix with and how I live my life ultimately? Card of Virgo, this Hermit. So you could be dealing with a Virgo that is very introspective, you have had not really any communication with, and perhaps that was in the near past. It feels like with this Wisdom card that may come to pass, that shall come to pass. And, you know, within institutions like education or religion or, you know, whatever your example of or marriage, it's very much this thing that I spoke about earlier of coming back together and understanding that there is this oneness in us, but ultimately we are connected. So you may have been disconnected from this Virgo, but maybe you're going to be connected again, or maybe this person is going to connect with you again. And it feels like this could have been you stuck in your mind over this period of introspection. This Four of Swords in reverse. In this upright, it's normally about rest and, you know, grounding, taking time for your own well-being. And in reverse, this is either you're all up in your head with so much thought that you've not been taking time to look after yourself. But you've just not felt in balance. For some of you, it could be some, you know, do some really nice meditation. You could start getting into grounding yourself. You know, most people, you're not going to hear many people that don't have some form of daily practice or weekly or what, you know, whenever you have time. You're not going to hear many people that do that say to you it's a bad thing. Just saying. Okay? There are, you know, there's procrastinators, and I can be one of them, where I don't do it as much as I should. But yeah, I'm going to actually be putting out some meditations of my own. I had a little brainstorm moment this morning before I got up, and I thought, yeah, we need to do some meditation work. Let's involve some of that in some of the channel. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. So then we look at this, the root of the problem, and we have this Six of Cups in reverse. So this is this sense of having memories of something from your past, and it's just not giving you the peace perhaps you feel that you'd like to attain. You know, and as a consequence, you've then gone into this hermit mode, and you really are sort of trying to get back within your power or your own understanding. But as I said, you know, when we go through these ascensions or these growth periods in our lives, they're usually, you know, regarding or around really big issues in our life. And they do take time, and they do take thought process. And like I said, there's a lot of water energy. There's a lot of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in here. And then we have in your near future this, it's normally the Strength card. It's in reverse, and in this deck it's called the Power. So this card is the card of Leo. So maybe this was a Virgo or a Leo that left you feeling like you didn't have any strength left. Or your process of going through in order to tame something Were you trying to tame something that couldn't be tamed? Were you hoping that something would change that wouldn't change? Are there memories of something that you thought was going to be really good and make you happy, and it just didn't deliver? Are there memories of someone, a relationship somewhere? So I feel like, Leo, then there's water energy around you. And you've been very mixed up regarding a potential Virgo or your own thoughts. But this near future is, I did talk about the Strength card of Leo, that is you, and you're not in your strength, basically. In this next few weeks, you're going to feel like you're trying to get your feet on the ground, to be who you know yourself to be, to find your power, to do what you know is needed in order to just move on from something or move forward. And it feels like you can't quite get there. It feels like you're not quite there yet. And your energy is this Ace of Pentacles. So that feels like something good is coming along. The Ace of Pentacles, it feels like this gift, this Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And it feels like something has been planted that's gonna grow into something really nice for you. So all this thought process and feeling stuck and, you know, dwelling a little bit too long on memories and something that's gone, something that's past, that's run its complete cycle. You know, for you to grow and plant seeds, it needs to be new seeds and new growth, because something has died or something has fallen away. And, you know, that's not to be cold about that and say, oh, that's happened, move on, because of course that doesn't happen, does it? None of us are able to just say, that's that. This could be the loss of somebody very dear to you, who, you know, you're struggling with the absence of. And this is just saying that, you know, in life, these cycles happen, and they're really hard cycles to let go of sometimes. But they just want you to know that within your grasp and with your energy, like very, very soon, something is very tangible, is growing and manifesting for you, Leo, which is really nice. It feels like this is something with a Judgment card in the next position of your environment. For me, sometimes this is the Scorpio card. And this Judgment card is very much the card of, it's a Scorpio energy for me, actually. But it's like getting to the bottom of something, getting to the truth of something coming to its full fruition. But that it was the right thing to happen. It's about becoming awakened, having epiphanies, understanding the cycle of your life and somebody else's life. And it's this sort of balance as well. Finding balance within what you can control and what you cannot. You know, learning to move forward in your future because of maybe events that happened in your past, but using the knowledge of your past in order to move forward. Okay, in your next card, in the position you have the World card, but it's in reverse. So it's like something is waiting to end. And your hopes and fears, this is the position of your hopes and fears. So it feels like you think something is going to end that you like pretty attached to. Something you really want to hold on to. But I would say that isn't possible. You know, we can't hold on to certain things forever. And in your outcome position, you have the 8 of Wands, and this is like fast, fiery movement. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, moving forward, firing forward. Cycle starting again, seeds growing. You know, we're not going to keep our foot on the ground and stop the seed from rooting, stop the growth. That would be mindless for us to do that. And this is saying to you, Leo, that would be mindless for you to try and stop your own growth right now. yeah, you're fearing the change, and you're fearing, will you have the strength for this change? The spirits say yes you are, okay? So next to that, I pulled the card Believe in Yourself. See yourself doing well and you will. Next to that World card in reverse is telling me have self-belief. Pegasus wants you to know that something may start off very small, but it will grow and grow. Like an acorn into an oak tree. Okay, outcome card, yes, wow. The last reading I had this card as well, change. But you have changed by this fiery movement forward. So this is quick paced change. Something happening quickly, out of your control. Yeah, you're gonna feel a little bit of fear over it, but don't worry, because it's gonna happen anyway, and it's gonna be for your highest good. It could be some creative change. It could be the way something looks is gonna change drastically. Something is always looked a certain way for you, and all of a sudden now it's gonna be very different. It says draw, paint, think and act in creative ways. Maybe this is something you enjoy doing. Maybe this has given you you've taken up a new hobby, because actually it is quite stress relieving for those of you that are artistic, you know, but it doesn't necessarily have to be artistic. Being creative, people often say to me, because I'm quite a creative person, and friends of mine will say, oh, I'm not creative like you, I'm not, you know, I don't make things, I don't put things together, you know, I don't do all these sorts of things. Being creative is just basically having a thought process and it evolving into something that you have put your hands to or you've enjoyed doing in order to bring about its existence. So it's basically can be an activity where you do something that you are just putting all your energy into and getting a lot of joy from it. Getting a lot of joy from whatever that pursuit is for you. Okay, so before I end today's reading, I'm going to pull one of my Wedgwood oracles. Oh, or it's going to pull it for me. So these are my Wedgwood oracles. I do a daily oracle on my Instagram with these. Go and check that out. Just gives us a little energy for the day, and spirit quite often give me very literal meaning for it, as well as that of like symbology and the numerology of it as well. Okay, so this card is the Star card, a card of guidance. So this is another 5. 5s can be challenging. We spoke about some inner challenge. This for me feels like letting out the light that is within, allowing others to see it and feel it. This goes hand in hand maybe with these changes and this creativity. You know, allowing someone to understand that part of you. For some of you, you will be starseeds out there watching this, and you will literally have evolved from a completely different galaxy. So maybe this could be a message for you that you try to let your light out, but sometimes you feel misunderstood and you feel like nobody else is like you, that you're different. This is saying don't be scared to be different. Believe in yourself. And yeah, ultimately we really want to get you in this position, Leo, where this power turns around and then you are really lighting up the sky, where you are really turning this energy around and lighting up the sky again, because that's what you do, Leo. You light up the sky. You are the sun's tarot card, ultimately in the deck, the Rider-Waite deck, and you are the sunshine. And it's time for you to bloom once more and let your star shine as bright as it can, Leo. Keep going, you'll get there. Have a great couple of weeks.